Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in to the pre-show. Before the free show. I told you this off air, but I guess I'll tell you on air. I really dig the shirt today.
That's very nice of you.
It's got a beach vibe.
It's got a feather on it.
That's not a feather, that's a palm leaf.
It's got a palm leaf or something on it. I don't know.
I love how
It's a T-shirt subscription that I get.
It's definitely a palm leaf.
Okay.
I love how Tepper thought it was a feather.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. Look at that. It kind of looks feathery.
Have you ever seen a palm leaf before?
No.
Well, the other leaves behind it kind of give it away.
That's what I was saying. The context clues here,
so
fella.
you're telling me that a feather has never ever landed on leaves.
That is a dumb argument.
It would be a good T-shirt.
Just telling you.
Maybe.
Greg Powers over in the Dave Campbell's Textful Day. Greg Powers Memorial Power Zone. I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to adjust his light, too, while you're talking.
Okay, because
I'm glowing.
Because you are you're a man who there's a lot of things I respect about you, and a lot of things I don't. But a lot of things I respect about you. One of them is that you are obviously I respect your recruiting knowledge. That's why you're here. I also respect your food knowledge.
Okay.
And I also respect
He's giving you
your
more respect
your smoking knowledge.
in this minute.
And I don't mean cigars, although you are smoking a cigar on our Zoom call on Monday, which was the biggest flex I think I've ever seen.
It was nice.
My question, so you're a guy who enjoys the barbecue. You're a
I
guy
do.
who enjoys the smoked meats, let's say.
Glass of whiskey every now and then.
Glass of whiskey, ain't nothing wrong with that. This is America. I have a question for you though, because I'm having a gathering at my house on Sunday, just family.
Are you going to smoke some meats?
Hank's gonna get together with his cousin, and there will all be
It's a shindig. A
grandparents,
kumbaya.
grandparents. Yeah, a shindig. Actually, the first time the whole family has been together since October.
One, how exciting. Two, that means pressure for your smoked meats that I feel like is where you're going.
100%. So Powers, I got a smoker. Okay.
Yep.
It's a propane smoker. Don't just get off me while
what?
It's
Okay.
It's a propane smoker. Just leave me alone.
Interesting.
But it does have it burns the wood.
Okay.
It's still good. Anyway.
Okay.
My question, Powers. What do I smoke? Because this is big. I've never done a brisket before.
Ooh.
I got one for you that you can't fail at.
I
And
love
that
this.
You're going to be super.
Okay.
You're going to be super
That-
popular.
Look at me. I'm the guy who absolutely needs a safety net.
Okay. This is the safety net, and for all the listeners listening, I'll go ahead and give the recipe.
Yes.
You'll have to come up with your own rub or search a rub that you like or whatever. I personally use what I found is the Hutchins rub recipe, which I really enjoy. But go to your butcher. You can't go to like Kroger or something.
I got a guy.
You got to meet.
Go to your guy. Go to your meat guy.
Great butcher, by the way.
How many people are you having over?
It's going to be 6 adults.
Oh, okay. So just go to your butcher and get 1/4 of a pork belly. Slice that thing into 1-inch cubes. Heavily put the rub on there and throw it on the smoker for 2 hours and don't even think about it. You don't have to do anything. 225, 250. You can't mess this up. Come back in 2 hours. Throw it in a pan. Throw some barbecue sauce on it and put it back in for another hour. And you have bacon burnt ends, and they're delicious.
Wow.
You can't mess
There you
it
go.
up.
I was fixing to say, that's hard to mess up no matter how you make them.
Because the other thing I'm going to do, and this was the real hotness over the summer. The real hotness over the summer.
Ooh, are you doing smoked queso?
The real hotness over the summer
Yep.
was the smoked queso. Because and one of the problems with following so many Texas high school football coaches on social media is they're gonna post 3 things. They're gonna post like things about your family because their wives want them to post like a fun Easter photo, right?
Yes.
They're going to post about like football and like motivational stuff.
Yep.
And they're going to post what they're cooking.
Yes.
And there was a run there in the summer where everyone was doing smoked queso.
Yeah, May to June was big
Oh
smoked
my
queso
gosh.
season.
And it looked amazing. And the problem was I have a tiny wife and a 2-year-old. What am I going to do with all this smoked queso?
Eat it. You're
Hank
going to
could
eat
have
it.
like bathed in the queso, literally.
Because it also doesn't feel like there's a way to like
Shrink it.
I don't think you can just be like just do a quarter of everything. It's like that kind of ruins the whole purpose of doing
I
it.
thought you were going to go the cigar route, and I was going to go say get a Cohiba if
Yeah.
you want to.
I haven't had a cigar in a minute.
Man, it's like the only thing that can get me through my day. Now,
Wow.
There you go.
So things are going great is what you're saying.
no, everything's going great, but when you're working in a
Yeah.
high-stress situation, you need to have some sort of relaxation techniques.
We were on our Zoom call as a staff on Monday, and Powers is a
And let me preface this by, it's a rarely attended Zoom call,
Yes.
and when I attend, I love to do a bit.
That is true. I have oh man, I got to go back and I have a good picture of a Powers bit from one of our meetings.
So Powers shows up a couple minutes late. Not a big deal. A couple minutes late. We're we're talking, and he is zooming from the back of your truck,
Truck bed.
back of your new truck. By the way.
Yeah.
Back of your new truck. Whataburger parking lot?
No, this was like the parking lot next to the office
The parking lot next to the
that
office.
has shade. Like,
The
so, like
office.
one parking lot over is like shaded. Our parking lot's completely in the sun.
Also, it was a great day outside.
holding his phone, and then suddenly you just see just I'm talking puffing on a cigar. I'm like, what a power move that was.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was a
And
power move.
And-
Every person was jealous in that moment.
Oh yeah.
And drinking a Mountain Dew, I have to also throw that out there, which was kind of.
That's a fantastic combination. Yeah.
The whiskey would have been better, but you can't do that at work. I mean,
Not
you-
with that attitude.
So we go from whiskey for Powers, whiskey 1A, Mountain Dew 1B.
we do got to get a bar
No,
cart
I
here.
think that you have to set the table when you explain this kind of stuff, because at the work vending machine, your options are limited, and when the Dr. Pepper's gone, you got Yoo-Hoo and Mountain Dew and Pepsi.
Okay.
And like there's not much
Yeah,
of a
you're gonna go
choice. I'm
Mountain
not
Dew.
going to go like with a Starbucks Frappuccino out of that's just not my style.
Yeah.
So, Mountain Dew it was.
Okay. Hit the theme expo. Let's go! Free money! Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas. It is Texas Football Today, a show celebrating the 25th anniversary of Steamed Hams. Today, guys, 25 years old. Shout out to our good friend and Texas Football Today's own Bill Oakley. My name is Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, TexasFootball.com, corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com or on Facebook, or you are listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the Duchess of the Dorks. She is Ashley Pickle. Hi,
Howdy.
Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Hello.
Have you told your folks that we're coming for next weekend?
I mentioned it to them at the start. I haven't given them the official go. I need to do that.
Mhm.
We've been a little busy.
That we're going to be going to the state barbecue state championships.
Yeah, Texas
Um,
High School Barbecue State Championships.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In Llano next Saturday.
Which can we go ahead and throw this out there again? The most Llano thing ever.
Yeah, go ahead.
The barbecue state championships are being held at the Kirkendall Center, akin to Case Kirkendall, obviously from this past year. But
Because there's only like 7 families.
yeah, there's
in
like
Llano.
7 notable families of name in Llano.
And the Pickles are one of them.
Nah. But they're hosting the barbecue state championships there that day. Then they're clearing out the center, and then my brother will be attending his senior prom in that exact
Hell
building
yeah.
that night.
Hell yeah. That's
So yee. There's prime Llano for you.
That's the energy we need.
Which my mom was like, "Oh, good. Jake will come back smelling like barbecue instead of like cow patties." So
I
there's
guess
a
that's
positive.
true, yeah.
But they got to like return the tux, and
Yeah.
it would have smelled like farm animals, livestock.
I'm sure that the people, with all due respect to our friends in Llano, I'm positive that the people who rent out tuxes in Lano, Texas,
Are used to this?
are used to that. Are used to tuxedos coming back smelling like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But anyway, fun Lano fact for you.
And over in the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Today, Greg Powers Memorial Power Zone, we are joined by next level athletes, Greg Powers. Hi, Greg.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, bud?
Man, I'm really excited about the Texas Barbecue State Championships.
Oh yeah.
Are you coming?
I'm
how
coming.
did- Yeah.
You sent the
He
invite.
got the okay.
You gave me the invite.
I know, but
You're driving.
I understand.
He said the wife said yes.
I understand. But it's for me. I just have to make sure everything's good on your home front.
It was one of those instant things that you find out about. I text the wife instantly, like right there on the spot. It's like, hey, Texas State Barbecue Championships, April 24th. Do we have plans?
Only if you will add to your Twitter bio, DCTF barbecue correspondent.
Oh yeah.
I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
That's not even like that would. That's not even a thing.
That's
right now
that's a
before going.
flex.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid that my career in barbecue might take off from this. So
Well,
I mean,
hey,
Oh,
that's
that's
something
true.
that you got.
We might be losing an asset here.
Look. If you love something, let it go.
Oh.
You know? Today is Wednesday, April 14th, 2021. Tomorrow's tax day, except here in Texas.
Except not.
Not in Texas.
No.
You get
It's
extra
pushed back.
2 months, right?
It's still
May
panic.
17th, I believe.
I still panicked when it popped
I
up on
thought it
my
was like
calendar
June.
as a warning.
I was like June.
Ooh.
I initially heard June 15th, and then I think it got moved
Okay.
up.
Well, here's the thing. My taxes are done. So I
May
don't care.
17th is
May
what
17th.
my
Okay. So you got an extra
my
month,
phone
Texans.
says.
Extra.
I did my taxes on Monday.
Good job.
Just throwing it out.
Overachievers,
200
both of you.
I'm like Ned Flanders. Like there's fireworks going off for New Year's Eve, and I'm like, gotta get going on those taxes, Nettie. 225 days till Thanksgiving. Episode 1145. 1145. The number of hits for Ian Kinsler in his illustrious
Hey.
career.
Good name.
That is an underrated Ranger.
Yes.
Ian
in every
Kinsler
facet.
rules.
He sure does.
On today's show, my friends, Powers is here. So we got This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers of Next Level Athlete. And then, back half of the show, Powers talked with Kyler Jordan, the Lubbock Cooper defensive end, and caught up with him about his recruiting world. We'll hear from Kyler Jordan, the Lubbock Cooper defensive end, coming up here the back half of the program. So, a lot to get to. Let's crack our knuckles. I hope that picked up.
It did.
I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. And this is This Week.
In Crootin.
It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers of Next Level Athlete. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter at NextLevelD1. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express, the reigning, defending, undisputed Texas high school chicken state champions.
Their chicken is always fresh, and you can taste the difference.
Ooh, whoa!
Whoa. Came in with a stinger.
Somebody came in
Woo!
hot. I was just thinking off the top of my head, but somebody's like, I'm
Let's
gonna write
go.
down these good marketing ideas.
This is what Power every night before bed. He's going, okay, what other Chicken
What's gonna
Express
be
slogan can I do?
That's good. That's very good.
It's a product that, it easily sells itself. I mean,
Well,
it's
yes,
not
it's
something
true.
that you really have to pimp out that much. I mean,
It's like Chicken Express. Just go.
Just go.
Trust
do
us.
it. Yeah.
It's This Week in Recruiting. A lot to get to across the state of Texas. Let's start in the Houston area with our prospect on the rise. Our prospect on the rise is 2022, so he'll be a junior this year. A-Leaf Hastings defensive end David Oakey, who, talk about a guy who's had himself quite a week. He picked up in-state offers this week from CUSA rivals North Texas and UTSA. He's already got offers from Houston, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah State. He had a big week at the rivals camp. This is a guy who, if you talk to the coaching staff down there with Hastings, they'll tell you that he's the hardest worker on the team, and that's what recruiters want to hear. That's if you want to talk about a compliment that's gonna raise perk up some ears. He's the hardest worker on the team is certainly up there.
he was on the radar and somebody that we knew about it. He was 6'2", 225 playing defensive end, which kind of puts you in an odd category. Can you play and stand up at 6'2"? Now he's 6'4", 235, and you can see that difference really helps him get a lot of recruiting attention. And he's got some offers that, make you pay attention. North Texas has done a really good job recruiting good talents in the Lone Star State. UTSA has been like that offer that, wow, if they offer you, like, here is the possibility that a lot of other doors are going to be open because a lot of people are paying attention to what UTSA is doing.
Do you know what they are? They are UTSA offers are like getting booked on like being a small band, but getting booked on like a big tour or something like that
Right.
as an opening act because people are like, oh, okay, well they must see something.
Exactly, and they actually discover a lot of guys,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it's like an alert, you know. It's like an alert on my phone when UTSA offers. Houston's offered. They're the hometown team, so obviously they've liked what they've been able to see locally. But my question is, who's going to be the first Power 5 conference school to offer Okie? And I don't think it's going to be long. You know, you start to see them approaching double-digit FBS offers. It's only going to be a matter of time before a Power 5 school comes calling for his talents. He's really quick off the ball, but what I love about watching his tape is he plays kind of like that quote said. He's the hardest worker on the team. He plays like that on the field. He's kind of relentless, has a good motor, and I really like that about Okie.
Well, and one thing I think about him, you mentioned that his frame, playing defensive end at 6'4", 235. You're talking about it's crazy to call that like undersized, but you watch him and you're like, okay, he's not built in that way. That is what I mean to say is he's got the frame that you can still hang some more weight on. And
Right.
so I would imagine that people who are watching this tape and they're like, okay, I like the technique, I like what he's doing. If we just get him in the weight room and we get him on a nutrition plan and we can get him playing 30 pounds heavier or something like that, we could have a monster on our hands. And I wonder if recruiters are looking at that as well as obviously the skill set.
I just think he's got a high upside, and he's just now starting to take off. People are finding out about him, and he had a good showing at one of the top camps. So just keep an eye on his recruitment. He's a guy who will continue to pick up momentum, and if he doesn't, he has some great options already to stay in state or to go to play out of state. But I like the in-state schools for him right now. We'll see what happens. Houston would be an intriguing option close to home.
Meanwhile, let's go from DFW over to or I'd rather go to Houston to the DFW Metroplex for our commit of the week. Our commit of the week is Saxe quarterback Alex Orgy. He is, of course, going on out there at the what am I saying? Out in East Dallas. A guy who had offers from all over, including Baylor, Houston, TCU, Texas Tech, Michigan, Nebraska, Vanderbilt, a ton of offers. And he is going to end up, he is committed to Virginia Tech. The Hokies haul him in. The Hokies did sign one player last year from Texas, the kid from Northside, Dwayne Lofton, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fort Worth North.
Fort Worth Northside. This is a 3-star. He's a number 76 on our DCTF Hot 100. This feels like a really nice get for Virginia Tech, who when they come into the state, they tend to be a little bit more targeted. They don't come in and just like offer everybody in the state of Texas. There are some schools out there who just like blanket the state with offers. Virginia Tech's not like that, and so for them to nab a guy like this when he's got offers, including really good in-state offers, that feels like a really nice win for the Hokies.
Well, Orgy is one of these guys who's like really an intimidating presence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he passes the eyeball test, much like his brothers Alston and Anthony, who were at Vanderbilt, were some of the most physically imposing players when they were coming out. Alex is in that same mold, and if quarterback didn't work out, he could really play a multitude of positions on the football field. I mean, he could be a safety, he could be a linebacker, he could be a receiver, maybe even a running back. But at 6'2", 220, what really pops, and when you see him in the game and when you actually get to watch him throw in person, is he has a cannon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can really push the ball up the field. There are some things I think that I would like to see him clean up as it comes to just specifically passing the football. But he gets the job done. He's been playing since his freshman season. You'll recall he stood out as a wide receiver his freshman year at Rockwall.
Mm-hmm.
So he's played some different positions on the field. But Virginia Tech has exclusively recruited him to play quarterback, and he had some offers to play quarterback from some big schools, most notably Michigan. So Michigan and Virginia Tech were high on him to stay under center. And that's where we're kind of projecting him right now. He could be rated as an athlete just because he can do so many different things, but look for him to stick under center at Virginia Tech, and he's one of those guys who could really blossom once he gets into a college program and concentrates with his offensive coordinator and quarterback coach all the time, because when you watch him like in his training sessions here in the Dallas area, he's better at quarterback than I think a lot of people give him credit for.
Yeah, he's a star, and that feels like a really, really nice pickup there for Virginia Tech.
Also I want to throw this out, a very intelligent guy too, smart. He's a gentleman. So that always is a feather in your cap if you're a recruit.
Well, and I'll say this, that is not a surprise given what we know about his brothers. You know what I mean? That all those guys are smart kids. All those guys are heady kids. Head screwed on straight and stuff like that. So
great family.
Yeah,
the
really,
Orgy
really
family.
good family out there. So we're talking this week in recruiting with Greg Powers, the next level athlete here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation. #TF Today. Let's go to our underclassman of the week. Our underclassman of the week, going back to Houston. Going to 2023 defensive end out of Cy Ranch, Ashton Porter. He is our underclassman of the week because he has picked up an offer from Texas. That is the first in-state P5 offer that he's picked up. He's already got offers from places like SMU, Arizona State, and Colorado. And a guy who they played 8 games. He played 8 games there for Cy Ranch and made his impact felt every step of the way there as a defensive end there for Cy Ranch. Keep an eye on this guy, 6'3", 225, and probably not done growing either.
No, definitely not. He's actually listed at 6'4", 232 on his huddle. We got him at 6'3", 225, so it's like maybe he's grown an inch already. I don't know, since the last time we were able to get our eyes on him. But another guy with a really high ceiling. Things are really just starting to happen for him. Texas is a strong indicator that all of the national schools are going to likely come calling, and he has elite tape. You pop on the tape, and it doesn't take long to see what he's bringing to the table. He has good pass rush moves, knows how to use his hands already, and just has the frame for growth to be one of those guys who will probably be like a no-doubter, top 50 4-star type of kid. And Cy Ranch, they produce a lot of talent. It's a very talented area of the state. And I just think the sky's the limit for him. Obviously, this Texas offer is going to be huge. For a school like that to come in early, and not only to come in early, but significantly earlier than some of the other top schools. He hasn't picked up another in-state offer since Texas offered. It was probably like 4 or 5 days ago. So you usually see Texas offer, and then, here comes a few other schools, close behind that. So they're getting a little bit of a head start on this one, and I wouldn't be surprised if it pays dividends.
Yeah, most certainly. This is a guy there, if you want to buy in early, Texas is hoping, you would think, hoping that first in-state P5 offer is the one that sticks and matters to him. So big-time offer there for Ashton Porter out of Cy Ranch. Finally, let's wrap it all up with our Recruit of the Week. Our Recruit of the Week going down to the Austin area, to Austin Del Valle.
Yes.
Linebacker Caleb Brown, and he could have been our our commit of the week. As he has pulled the trigger, he is going to go to the University of Houston. He has committed to them over offers from places like SMU, UTSA, Nebraska, Iowa State, Boston College. This is a 3-star guy we've got in TexasFootball.com/recruiting. Caleb Brown, I will say this. These are the types of recruiting battles that Dana Holgorsen needs to win. And you put this in the W column and you say, all right, we're getting ourselves a pretty darn good linebacker out of the Austin area.
Yeah, and this is one of those guys who's a lot of fun to watch on tape. He hits guys so hard that one of the critiques of his film would be that he has a hard time wrapping up.
Huh.
He bounces off of guys because he brings the heat. And he's done some different things there for the Cardinals, playing kind of both ways and doing what they need him to do. But he's got an extremely high upside. You see him listed at 6 foot 190. He's going to be playing 6 foot 210, 215. Maybe grows an inch when he gets to college, and has the skill set to not only be a sound tackler against the run, but he runs well enough that you can project him to be a guy who will play well in coverage as well. I really like what he does on the delayed blitz. He times it up perfectly. He can get downhill quickly, and sometimes that's just like one of those things when you watch a linebacker that can be taken for granted. It's something that you can just do naturally or you can't do it, and he just has a knack for his timing, and I think that's really important. Getting after the quarterback, making plays behind the line of scrimmage, knowing what to do and when to turn it on.
He is going to be a big-time playmaker for those Houston Cougars as he has committed to Dana Holgerson and the Cougs. He's Greg Powers of Next Level Athlete. I don't have a fun segue. Sorry, buddy.
It's your one job.
Follow him. It's my one job. It's not to, like, format the show. Whatever. He's Greg Powers at Next Level Athlete. Follow him on Twitter at GPowerScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter at Next Level D1. See his fine work on TexasFootball.com. And stay tuned for more Greg Powers. So, Powers, stick around. I need you to intro the next segment.
Sounds good.
We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider, please, at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. You can get 2 magazines, including, you can buy this one online now.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, this is the recruiting edition. But you will, if you subscribe today, you will get the 2021 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, the Bible, Texas Football, in quotes. And, of course, the 400-page magazine we're known for. You get that mailed to you early before it hits newsstands. Mailed to you early. Be the first person on your block to get your magazine. You get that, plus you get the recruiting edition, not this one, but you'll get the new one when it comes out in December of 2021. Profiling more than 400 prospects around the state of Texas. So you get that, plus a year's worth of exclusive online content at TexasFootball.com. Prove your Texanness.
Mm-hmm.
Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. It's less than $0.10 a day. How about that?
Yeah, that's a bargain.
That's a bargain.
More Greg Powers for $0.10 a day. It's what the people want.
It's a good value.
I know. I'd pay a lot more than $0.10 a day for Greg Powers.
Absolutely.
TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Powers, who did you talk to this week?
I talked to Lubbock Cooper linebacker, Mr. Do-It-All, there at Lubbock Cooper. Kyler Jordan, great kid, also a very talented baseball player. Baylor Bears are getting a dude with a very high upside there. I'm very excited to see what he's going to do in college.
Here's Greg Powers' conversation with Lubbock Cooper linebacker defensive end Kyler Jordan here on Texas Football Today.
TexasFootball.com here with Kyler Jordan, one of the top recruits in the entire state of Texas, one of the top defensive players in the state of Texas. Kyler, you've made your commitment to Baylor. What was it about that Baylor program that jumped out to you and made you feel comfortable in pulling the trigger there?
Yes, sir. A lot was the relationships. Coach McGuire and Coach Aranda have really built a great relationship with me as well as the entire staff. I got a text from pretty much every single one of them at one point or another, and really just feeling the love and feeling the want for me to get down there. And it just felt like home, that's where I'm being called to make my next impact.
You were recruited heavily by Joey McGuire. You know, as a guy who we know well at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Before he moved on to Baylor, he was one of the top high school football coaches in the Dallas area and the entire state of Texas, and of course is a Texas high school football coaching legend. What do you know about Coach McGuire, and how did he help Baylor's efforts when it comes to landing Kyler Jordan?
Yes, sir. He knew a lot. He just knew a lot about the Texas high school football. He knew how big it was. He knew how big it is to the people that play it and the people that are around it all the time. And really just being personable and being easy to talk to, making himself free to talk to me whenever I was available. Because, I mean, I know he's on a tight schedule just like I am. So really just meant a lot for him to spend as much time as he did talking to me and talking to my family and making me feel comfortable.
Dave Aranda, he's a defensive-minded coach. I know that you can probably do a lot of different things on that gridiron. You might even be able to flip over and play some offense as well. But Dave Aranda is a defensive-minded coach. You put up monster defensive numbers. Did that help the decision-making process or sway you in any way to have a head coach who has that type of mentality?
Yes, sir. I think it added a little bit to my decision, just being defensive minded, of course, playing defense. But just the fact that he's seen people like me and he's done great things with people that are built like I am, and just makes me really excited to see what he can do with me.
So I know that football is your love, man. It's the sport that you are going to play college. But baseball is another sport that you really like. And I expect that you're probably going to play baseball into your senior season, so you're probably not going to be an early enrollee. Just kind of talk about baseball, why you like it, and how you feel like that could help prepare you, keep you ready, to play football as well.
Yes, sir. It's great to have something to kind of take your mind off of football, because otherwise you're just antsy all the time, and there's nothing else to really like compete against other teams for. And I just love how relaxed it is. I love the guys that I'm playing with. I love the coaches. I love all of it. I love spending that much time with guys other than my football teammates. It's really awesome. It's really awesome with the kind of program that we have going on at Cooper right now.
You got any heroes on the gridiron or on the diamond that you look up to or kind of pattern yourself after at all? Who are some of those guys that you really like?
J.J. Watt and T.J. Watt. Those are my two, really the two guys that I really strive to be like one day. I'm not gonna be as big as J.J., but hope that I can at least have that impact on my community.
Not bad picks right there. As a matter of fact, watching your junior tape, I think that you'd be honored to let me say that you played a little bit like T.J. Watt last season, chasing that football around, man. I mean, is that kind of flattering to hear?
Yes, sir. For sure. T.J. Watt's numbers were absolutely insane. So, means a lot.
I want to transition a little bit here to Lubbock Cooper. You guys had a big season last year. You're going to be a team leader. This is your senior season coming up. Just kind of talk about, just in general, what do you guys have coming back, and how excited are you now that you do have a little bit younger team coming back, that you're going to be the guy that's the leader. You're going to be the guy that they look to, and of course you have a talented teammate there to play alongside you too.
Yes, sir. I'm really excited because this is really the time that I get to build my team and to build the team that our senior class is going to make our impact, not only in the football aspect, but the life aspect as well. We all know these football relationships don't last a few weeks. I mean, these are relationships that we'll have for the rest of our lives. And I really just hope that I can push them enough to where they realize how bad that I want it and how bad that the rest of my class wants it. And I'm really excited to see what we can do.
You've been lined up next to a guy named Kobe McKenzie, probably one of the most deadly or lethal duo of linebackers and defensive players in the state. You're going to Baylor. He's planning on going to OU. Has the trash talk started?
It started a little bit, but he's really happy for me, and I'm really happy for him. I think both of them are great fits for us individually, and me and Kobe have played together for this will be our 5th year in a row, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think that this is last year I'll get to play with him.
I bet you guys are looking forward to trading those jerseys one day.
Yeah.
But I bet you hope that the scoreboard reads in a positive favor of Baylor whenever that happens.
Oh yeah, 100%.
How does Baylor really see you fitting into their schemes? You're a guy that's done so much on the gridiron, played a lot of different positions. How do they really see you fitting in there, and what do you feel like you can bring to the table?
They see me starting out at outside linebacker, standing up a little bit, rushing the passer. They see me maybe playing some H-back as well, H-back to get in there and block. They see me putting my hand in the dirt maybe a little bit, putting some weight on me. They maybe playing some middle too. They're not 100% sure yet, but they see me starting out at outside and then going from there.
So I know that you've done a lot of different things, got some hobbies and stuff, but are you going to be able to find you a fishing hole when you get down to Waco is the big question. And if so, kind of tell the fans down there at Baylor who may be watching this, maybe do you have a record catch or have any trophies hanging on the wall?
Shoot, I wish. I don't really get that many chances to go fishing, but if I did, I would. I go trout fishing a lot. And honestly, the biggest trout that I caught, I lost it once it got to my feet. But that's a story for another time. I've gone bass fishing a lot. I've caught a gar before up in Missouri. We went deep sea fishing last summer. Yeah, and I caught a pretty good red snapper. Wish I would have caught like a grouper or something, but it was pretty cool. And I don't know, I love the peace of fishing. It's very relaxing.
That's TexasFootball.com with Kyler Jordan, Baylor commit, a man who needs a fishing net, sounds like to me.
Yes, sir. Yeah, or one that's a little more accessible.
Thanks for the time, man. Congratulations on your commitment to Baylor. Of course, good luck with the rest of your baseball season, and good luck with the upcoming football season as well.
No problem. Thank you.
There is Kyler Jordan, the Lubbock Cooper rush end, let's say, defensive end linebacker. Is he a Baylor commit?
Yes.
Baylor commit. A guy who, now we were talking while I was playing. This is a guy you could put a lot of different places. He's got the versatility. He's got the athleticism. You could probably play him strong safety. He'd probably be okay. Where do you think he's going to see the field at Baylor, from your perspective?
I think he's a hybrid defensive end, outside linebacker. He's going to start his career off at outside linebacker. He's been recruited by Joey McGuire to come down to Waco. So that's where he's going to start. We'll see where he finishes as his body matures and grows. I mean, he's 240 pounds now as a guy who's a high school junior.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a dude that could really blossom. He could potentially, just depending on his growth. You don't want to rule these type of things out, but at 240, what I'm going to guess is a 16, 17-year-old, he could probably add the requisite weight to even be an interior defensive lineman if that's, the way his body takes him, and he plays with a relentless motor. His favorite player, as you heard him say, is, the Watt brothers, and he loves T.J. Watt. He kind of reminds me of a high school version of a T.J. Watt, and what a tandem of linebackers at Lubbock Cooper with him and Kobe McKenzie.
Yeah.
I mean,
pretty darn.
Yeah.
He's probably bigger than the Watt brothers at that age.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were little bitty back in the day.
He's a big kid, and Baylor's getting a good one. Our thanks again to Lubbock Cooper defensive end Kyler Jordan. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. How about this for a tease? Tomorrow, for Big Guest Thursday, we'll be joined by a guy who left a college football head coaching job to come coach high school football in the state of Texas.
Fact.
There's a tease. Our thanks once again to Kyler Jordan of Lubbock Cooper for being our guest. For Greg Powers and Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow on Texas Football Today.